Okay, well, let's just get started. So, Charles, do you want to talk about yourself and what brought you to Meals on Wheels to begin with?
Charles Cloutman. We moved to Austin in 2009 and started volunteering with Meals on Wheels at that time, and delivering meals actually 2008, and started seeing the condition of the housing that we were delivering meals to and the people's condition. So I joined there. Meals on Wheels has a minor home repair program called Handy Wheels, and so I joined that as one of the volunteer installers of grab bars, doorbells, things like that, and got further into the house and saw how desperate these people were living. And so I talked to the CEO, and it was decided to go ahead and start a home repair program, and I would get it started, and got stuck, and I'm here forever. Happy as a little clam in my little shell.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the home repair program and Handy Wheels too?
Yeah, Handy Wheels does grab bars, doorbells, very, very minor stuff, not electrical, not plumbing, anything like that. So we have our home repair program now divided into like 3 parts. Handy Wheels being the most preliminary, easiest, less intrusive, but an emergency program they can get right on and put a grab bar in, a doorbell, whatever. So so the people can get around their house, can prevent falls, and be easier for them to interact with the public and or our meal delivery. So then there's the minor home repair program, which we started probably 2 years ago. The grant from St. David's and subsequent grants from others that have come in, Rika, several other people that have kept us going. And it's an emergency home repair when someone has a water heater goes down or a major appliance goes down, runs out of heat, runs out of cooling. We can put in a room air conditioner. We can put a water heater in, something like that. So those items are intermediate, as we would call it. And then we have our major home repair, which is funded completely by others that both local, state, private foundations fund us to do major home repair. And that's from the foundation to the roof and everything in between. Does accessibility modifications, for so ramps and bathroom renovations, kitchen renovations, flooring, whatever the case may be. Most of our clients are seniors. A lot of them are veteran seniors. And especially within the city of Austin, these programs, the public money is geared for low-income people, and to be a low-income homeowner, it by default means you're someone who's over 60, probably 65 or greater, because you bought your house back in the 50s, because no way you could buy a new house right now in Austin on what they call low income. So they've lived in these houses for many years, and have not been able to keep up with the maintenance. And so there's a whole lot of things that need to be done to the house: windows, doors, siding, roofing, walls, you name it. Never enough money, but we get it done, and we spend roughly, $3.5–4 million a year on home repair, through major home repair. Mm-hmm. So it's a wonderful thing. It really has changed many lives. It's a great thing.
Are the clients exclusively meal clients as well?
It started out that way, but it since has grown because we were using public money. We really couldn't restrict it to our own clients, though we favored them, and we still favor them. Anytime we have a client that needs help, they magically got to the top of our list. So it's what we do and why we do it. We serve the most vulnerable out there. So when one of our clients comes in, we know that it's an urgent need, and we get to it as soon as we can. So I think that answers you, maybe?
It did. Is the intake process just like an application? Do you guys go check out the homes at first?
Yes, the only thing that really works is they have to do a telephone intake And it basically kind of screens them for what they're eligible for or not eligible for, what they could use, maybe could use. A lot of if, ands, and buts in there. Then we send the application to them, or we sometimes deliver it. If they're our clients, sometimes their case manager hands it to them, helps them through the process. It's generally the biggest obstacle we fight is them completing the application process. It's a little daunting with the public money because it asks for income documents and things like that. It's intrusive, no doubt about it, but it's nothing we can change. But it's the only way to find out if they're eligible for the programs. But it's a grant. It could be $20,000. You could have $20,000 one grant, $15,000 another grant, $15,000 another. So you're looking at $50,000. Well, that's a lot of money free, to entice you to fill out an application. It's kind of lame, but to some people, it's that daunting. I mean, they just can't seem to make themselves do it. And so we're trying to find a way of helping them case manage through that type thing. So we're working on it. But then once we get the application back in and they find themselves approved, then we visit the home, find out what they need, that they think they need, and then we show them what else they need and what else will be required to do that. So it generally tends to explode a little bit, and we have to limit in most cases, especially if we're hung with just one source of funding and we have to specialize on just that problem. It makes it harder because we'd like to do a holistic home repair here.
Yeah.
When we started this thing, we just refused to do a halfway job, which was the norm of nonprofits before we started. They would just go in and fix, if they had a leaking faucet, they would fix the leaking faucet, and they would leave the drain that was broken alone. They would leave the sink that's fallen through the countertop alone. It's like, what the heck? So it just didn't, so we changed out the kitchen now. I mean, we go overboard maybe, but they were definitely not going overboard before, so.
Yeah. Can you talk about the changes you've had to make to the home repair program since the COVID-19 pandemic started?
Yeah, when it first hit in March, we were, when the city had their emergency shutdown order, we obviously shut down with it. And then they realized that construction was an essential business. And because Meals on Wheels obviously was already essential, our part wasn't until then. And then when they decided that in early April, we were able to start working as strictly on the outside just because of the unknown of COVID and what the heck, how it was getting so ferocious and spreading so wildly. And then as we started understanding more of it, we could start working smarter. We decided to try to work inside by vacating the homeowner while we're in there, or the whole term where they're there, but at least during the day while the contractors were in the house, they clean their way out every day, and the homeowner can come back. And there's never an interaction, never a spread opportunity. So if indeed anyone was affected, we've not had any infection in any of our contractors. We've not had any infection in any of our homeowners or any of our staff. So thank God it's working.
Yeah. Can you talk about the impact home repairers had since COVID started?
It's amazing. The people are, I think, just people get knocked down on their knees with all this, with the doubt, with the fear, with the anxiety of it. They have some friendly face coming in there to their rescue. It's actually amplified their appreciation of not only have you come to their rescue, have you come to fix their problem, and you've made their life better and their home safer, and no longer their house is their enemy, but you did it in a time of turmoil, and did it at a time that they were afraid of everything. Mm-hmm. And I think, it's an abstract. It's hard for me to prove, and I'm not there a lot. I'm just there when I am there. But you can see the difference in them, especially when you close out the project and they actually don't want you to leave. It's kind of like, well, wait a minute, where are you going? Why you want to leave so quick? And they want to spend more time with you. They're lonesome. They're hurting. I visited a lady Tuesday over in Hyde Park, sweet little British lady,
Mhm.
and lived alone for many, many years, and never did want any kind of help. She's been a meals recipient, and she said, "You know what I miss more than anything else is the interaction of people coming to my door. The meals are okay. I mean, the food, that's okay, but the people," she said, "they were just fantastic. They were my friends. They're my loved ones. They're like kinfolk." And she just was tickled pink that I was going to sit there with her and talk about her home repair. And so we're going to fix her house.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things. She was just so appreciative and so thankful, that this was going on. COVID or not COVID, they just generally have lived with this problem so many years, and it's so hopeless to them because they couldn't fix it. They didn't have the wherewithal to do it. And it not only fixes them physically, but mentally and emotionally. It's really a healing thing for them. So it's all abstract. I just kind of accepted it. But when you really ask that kind of question, it's kind of like, really it does make a world of difference to people.
Yeah, it does. That's a perfect segue into my next question, which is, do you have a favorite client story, or like what's your favorite part about your role?
Oh, wow. They always get trumped every week. There's a new one, because another one comes up. Again, Tuesday. Tuesday was a good day again. I was sitting with a vet in Lockhart, and he's out in the woods. He needed his air conditioning system had gone down, and that was in the 2 weeks ago when everything was 105, 107. And he used to run one of the mucky whoops at the local VFW in Lockhart, but his health had declined and he had to get out. And then, of course, COVID shut everything down. Well, he ended up calling the state VFW, who we're friends with. They called us, said, "Don't you serve Caldwell County?" Sure. So we were able to strike that day. The day we got the phone call, we were able to go out there because he's a disabled vet. And he just couldn't believe that. And then when I saw his house and there was so much more to do, we decided to go ahead and use some of our other funding to fix up his landing in his bathroom and whatnot. He's almost blind. He has hearing issues. He's a Vietnam vet, so he's got Agent Orange damage throughout his body. Horrendous disease machine, Agent Orange. So hopefully COVID's not like that itself. But anyway, he was sitting at his table yesterday or 2 days ago, and said he just started crying and said, "I don't deserve this. Why me? Why me?" I mean, it's like I'm gonna crack up myself right here, but they're just so humble and so kind and so appreciative. And he said, "Why me?" And I said, "Why not you? I mean, you laid your life down for us for 4 years in Vietnam, and why not you?" And they just can't see themselves as worth the trouble, and it's so good to be there as that, administrator of that kind of love and compassion and firsthand. I got the best job in the world. I do. I'm sorry for everybody else. Anyway, so sometimes anyway.
Yeah, that was a sweet story. Oh, okay. So how can people help the home repair program right now?
The because we hire contractors and the major home repair program, it really almost excludes individual help. But the minor home repair program, as well as Handy Wheels, invites individuals. Handy Wheels, especially if you're talented, if you've got skill sets that would allow you to set a doorbell or a grab bar or any number of small tasks, low skill, low tech type of home maintenance, then give us a call and volunteer, and we'll put you to work, and you'll be the happiest little clam in the pile. But then the minor home repair, we need donations. Because again, we hire contractors, but they're smalls, I say smalls when I think in terms of tens of thousands of dollars now. So, but most of minor home repair, 1,000, 500 to $1,000. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for somebody to give to us, but that money right there will change people's lives for years, you know. So it's something they can do, and
Yeah.
we invite them.
Yeah. So donating if you can, volunteering if you're handy.
Yep. Yeah. And vote for the next affordable housing bond in about 3 years if you're neither, because we use that funding exclusively for home repair in Austin.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we have a few more minutes. Is there like one key takeaway you want people to leave this with about the home repair program? Does that question make sense?
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of, the majority of the conversation nowadays is about homelessness, and it's valid. And the other part of the conversation is the need for rental housing. Again, very valid. Our problem doesn't trump anybody else's problem. But keeping people safe in their home is vital. These people were the backbone of Austin for the past 50 years. They're our workforce. They occupy north, south, east, and west Austin. And they need this thing as they've aged and their incomes have dwindled and their needs have not stopped. We need to be there for them within this city, and in our case, within the 11 counties surrounding Travis County. Veterans who have given themselves up for our sake, and they're wounded because of it. We're there to help them no matter where they are in this area. We go far and long. So to keep that in mind, to keep the idea, the moral burden, I guess it is, of helping people age in place, and whatever we can do to do that. We're enacting other programs as we speak to help people stay in place and work with hospitals to enable people to facilitate their recovery and stop their house from being their enemy when they come home from the hospital. They need accessibility issues, and they need it now. And we're there to help them. That type of thing. And that's what Meals on Wheels does. I mean, we have a holistic view of our clients. We want to heal them and help them and keep them nutritious. We give a rip. We always have. We've always been compassion in action. That's why I've always loved this place and everybody here. We're a family of hundreds, and yet we're all in with one mind to heal the hurting, to be there for people who are silently suffering. And it's, come and join us, deliver meals, fix things, whatever you want to do. Feed dogs, feed cats. I mean, we got an opportunity for you. Whatever your bag is, we got it. We got so much compassion around here, we don't know what to do with it. So it's a hoot to be here. It's the best 11 years of my life. It's been fun. So come join us. Have fun.
Thank you, Charles. That was so well said. I couldn't agree more.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. Thanks, Charles, for telling us about home repair. And I hope everyone has a good day.